Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Christmas windows, Boxing Day sales. If that sounds exhausting, you'll love Fuck Christmas. It's a show that gives the middle finger to capitalism and overconsumption of all things to do with this holiday season. My next guests are the co-creators of Fuck Christmas. Welcome to Showtime, Beck Matthews and Sarah Ward.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
I've got to say, it's just fun saying fuck Christmas, but it does sound like a really, really fun idea. And this is a production of Fat Fruit at the Malthouse Theatre. What inspired you to establish Fat Fruit, and how did this creative partnership begin?
It began a long time ago, actually, because we're middle-aged now.
Yeah. Like 18 years ago.
Yeah, a long time ago. We actually fell in love on a project that we were working on together at the Women's Circus, and we were both musical directing. And from there, we realised that we have a really strong shared aesthetic and philosophy in art making, and we share similar politics. And so we're partners in art and life. And we've been, in the last sort of 5 years, establishing ourselves as a tiny little partnership company called Fat Fruit. Yeah. We thought we'd make it official.
So organically, we've sort of been making all this work together for so long. And then at some point, it was like, because it was getting complicated, Sarah had like a character called Yana Alana, and people were like, oh, Yana Alana, booking Yana Alana. It's like, Yana Alana's not even in this show. And so we're like, okay, Fat Fruit, we'll give ourselves the name. So that's sort of how Fat Fruit's come about.
And being partners in life and partners in work, how does that go?
It's pretty organic, actually. It's actually just making sure that we keep certain spaces and times in our life sacred, so that we know that, you know, this is family time and we're not really going to talk, or this is the bedroom is, let's not talk about art too much, you know what I mean? Like, let's sleep, you know what I mean? Like, keep certain spaces and certain times sacred. But other than that, it does mean when we go for walks or when we're in the car, sometimes we come up with new ideas and we laugh. We know when we're laughing that we've got a great idea.
Melbourne has such a diverse selection of great independent theatre and independent theatre producers. What makes Fat Fruit stand out, do you think? What's different about what you guys are doing?
Okay.
Want me to answer?
Nice handball.
Yeah, I know.
I'm just doing a lot of talking, but look, I think what we do that's a little bit different is I call it considered chaos, or considered mess. You know, what we're really interested in crafting work that's incredibly authentic and real, and casting people that have more going on than just performing constantly. So in our work at the moment, we've got death doula, social workers, teachers, parents, aunties, clown doctors, and artists. So art is a part of their life, and I feel like that reads for an audience. They understand that what they're seeing is people who are living in their community and working in their community who are also artists. And I think there's a real authenticity and realness in the work that we create with these people in a variety context. But we also do other work. We do work for families, particularly for rainbow families, and
community engagement as well. I think that's one of the things. So I think there's a lot of, companies in Melbourne that probably have that organised chaos going on, and everywhere. But I think it's that, we live in Footscray and completely engaged in our local community as artists and teachers. And so it's like every facet of our life, like it all touches each other, I guess.
Yeah.
So we see our entire life is kind of part of the art making. And I think actually the lockdowns almost help cement that. It's like, if you're an artist and there is no audience, are you still an artist? So you start to go, oh no, my life is me as an artist.
Yeah, and it seems to me, you mentioned a clown. What's a clown doctor?
A clown doctor is it's an organisation in Melbourne, I don't know if it's anywhere else in Australia, who go to the Royal Children's Hospitals and entertain
kids. Yep, gotcha. I thought it was some sort of like a specialty for, like, you know, people that do acrobatics and stuff have unique injuries, and it's someone who specializes in the joints and stuff that clowns hurt. But
Yes.
the Make-A-Wish style of you know, coming to and make, you know, the leukemia kids more comfortable, and
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
about
yeah.
making them a laugh.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, what was that Robin Williams show?
yeah.
There was a Robin Williams, was it
Patch
Patch
Adams.
Adams? Yeah, 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 yeah.
Oh.
Gee, that's a... So it seems to me from what you're saying that Fat Fruit isn't just about entertaining, and it's not just about telling stories. It seems like a bit of a reflection on you and your community, and you know, that sort of taking audiences on a bit more of a journey than simply getting people into an auditorium and entertaining them for a couple of hours.
Yeah, I think it's about, at the end of the day, about making connection. And, you know, we're very much aware of how much chaos is going on in the world and how easy it is to give up and lose hope. And I think for us, as humans and as art makers, there's that thing that if we can stay connected, we can hold on to hope. And, you know, that term radical hope, though, not hope where you're just, oh, I hope everything turns out okay. You know, it's more active than that. But by building community and building connection, then that's going to be much more powerful.
And isn't that the best type of art making, the best type of storytelling, when you're actually making genuine connections with the people that are engaging with what it is you've created?
I think so, because I think that's a long-lasting impact. And it means that people go out into the community feeling a little lighter, a little stronger, and less isolated.
Yeah. And it feeds what we make too. So sorry. It feeds what we make. So, you know, I think about things that are in this show, and some of it's come about from conversations with 7-year-olds. You know, even though it's an adult show, it's that, you know, the more people that you're in communication with, the more viewpoints you have, the more like access to different perspectives and absurdity that then can feed the art.
Speaking of this show, tell me about Fuck Christmas.
It's a big, open-hearted show, and I would say that if you, again, could describe it in 3 words, it is camp, punk, queer, but let's keep going, vulnerable and open-hearted, and generous, because again, we've got some people who are sitting at office chairs and working, and then putting makeup on and getting on stage. You know, it's really exciting in that way, that it's real people telling their stories and sharing their perspectives. So it's all we've all collaborated together on it, and it came together because we had another show called Fuck Fabulous, and we were working on the family version of that called Fart Fabulous, and we were doing it in December. And I did a parody on Santa Claus is Coming to Town called The Fat White Man is Coming to Judge You. And we thought we'd put it in the show. It didn't make it in the show, but it started a discussion. What if we were to create a show that was sort of a middle finger to Christmas and the expectation, obligation, the pressure, the confusion,
the consumerism,
capitalism.
Yeah.
What if we were to look at that? I think we could create a whole show about that, and it would be really relatable.
And everyone in the cast and the director, so Susie Dee is the director on the show. So it's a Fat Fruit and Susie Dee production, but with everyone in the cast participating in contributing ideas. But everyone on that occasion kind of vibed and got in on the idea. And we also discovered that amongst us, there's some who absolutely love Christmas, and there's some that hate Christmas. So, which is actually a really interesting kind of perspective to bring to it, because, you know, even those that love it, they can see the problems, and those of us that hate it, we can see, you know, for example, what I kind of hate Christmas because of what it's become and what it's not. So I understand what it could be.
And like all things in our world, it's not binary. Some people might love Christmas because of its historical or its religious associations but hate the consumerism. Some people might love the Boxing Day sales but hate, the religious elements. I mean, there is I can't imagine there's anyone that loves everything that there is about, what we call the silly season, for probably a really good reason. And what is it? It's a variety show format. Is that right?
Variety is kind of an underestimated art form in Australia, I think, along with cabaret and circus, because people don't see it as serious, and it can be. It can be a really lovely way of crafting an experience for an audience. And also it means that you often say, Beck, if there's something that you're watching that you're not connecting with, something's going to happen in about 3 minutes that's very different.
Yeah. But also I think it's that thing, people forget the ability for variety to actually do storytelling, that is possible. And it also gives us the freedom to take the audience through a really massive range of emotions. And most of the time they're laughing, but sometimes they're laughing and crying at the same time.
And sometimes they're crying. So in this audience, we've had a lot of people tell us that they've gone through a huge shift of emotion, and some people even crying still after the show.
Yeah. But we've crafted the show so as what we didn't want is people to leave going, oh, fuck Christmas. Not like that. So it's empowering. Yeah, they do feel, I think, the energy in the audience afterwards is uplifted, I think.
Yeah. We wanted to take care of people. The last thing we all feel like is being in trouble.
Yeah.
Like, we don't want to go to the theatre and be preached at and told we're bad,
Yeah, it's like we can all go, yeah, fuck that bit of Christmas.
Yeah.
I don't want that anymore.
Yeah. It's just sort of like reclaiming Christmas for yourself in a meaningful way.
So how do you deal with issues like consumerism and secular traditions and, all that sort of stuff that we now associate with this time of year?
Well, the very first thing we decided to do was make sure that our set and our costume were all sort of recycled, reused, remade, or borrowed, or hired. So all of the set that Romany Harper has created is from stock. So when I say from stock, in the Malthouse, they have a lot of red curtains. So Rom just used all the red curtains in the Malthouse and draped it. And then as a part of this huge, big archway that we have, that's kind of like the mouth of Christmas when you walk into the space, there's about 50 dead Christmas trees from last year that have been de-needled and fire retardant put on it and set up there, along with all the Christmas wrap that was donated to us from 2023 Christmas. With gift tags saying Merry Christmas, Mum, and things like that. So, and it's all coming out of a giant trash can or giant dumpster. So we're kind of making comments within the set, but
even the sound design too.
Also
there's
in the sound design,
that sort of just speak to that. And there's acts that specifically speak to it, but yeah, you can see it when you walk in.
And what are you hoping audiences take away from this show ultimately?
That they can unplug, that they can do things differently, that there is a way forward, that they don't have to throw everything out. They can, I guess, take a moment to work out what's important, what they want to hang on to, and what they want to get rid of, and that they're part of a community. Yeah,
for me, it's they're not alone. If you're feeling like Christmas is overwhelming, or that Christmas is, at the very end, Beck does an incredible act where we're sort of, making fun of that scene in Love Actually, where he comes and stands with the signs. But Beck, says things like, we're told Christmas is a magical time of year, but it can be fucked, actually. It can be a time of grief and sorrow. There's a lot of loss around Christmas. A lot of people are grieving around Christmas,
Yeah, it's who's not there.
Or who's not there
or
anymore.
Where they're no longer welcome, or where they're no longer safe.
Yeah, so family I guess at the end of the day, Christmas is not simple. And that's one of the signs that you say. It's really complex, and our relationship with it is complex. And we're sort of saying, you know what? We're sold by capitalism that this is a time to kind of like enjoy, and it's the most wonderful time of the year. But for some, it can be the hardest. And we're saying, you're not alone.
I'm chatting with Sarah Ward and Beck Matthews, who are the co-creators of Fuck Christmas playing now at the Merlin Theatre at the Malthouse. And it's a strictly limited season. It's only on until the 15th of December. For more information and to book tickets, visit malthousetheatre.com.au. Beck, Sarah, thank you so much for the chat. And all the best for the remainder of the season.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Fuck Christmas.